Divorced after 16 years of marriage and single at 39, I share my mistakes and experiences to help your marriage, improve your dating life, and prepare you for life after divorce. Everybody, I got a good friend, and a special guest for the podcast, and we're just going to kind of be freeform here because this gentleman here is a renowned comedian. And again, for those who don't know who you are, sir, please introduce yourself and your wonderful accolades and other comedians you've worked for. Because again, your career is pretty badass. So
Thank you. My name is Clifton Simmons. I am a professional stand-up comedian. I've worked with Bob Saget, D.L. Hughley. I opened up for Gladys Knight a few weeks ago at the Tobin Center. And I'm a professional MC. I MC a lot of events. I'm a wedding officiant, actor, dad, motivational speaker. I can keep going. Y'all.
No, you're not boring to anybody. It's just awesome. And I just wanted everybody to know here, if you've been following my page, I always talk about my divorce and how I didn't know anybody and how I just put myself out there. And one day I volunteered at a Comic-Con. And I'm volunteering at this Comic-Con as a gopher guy, just go get things. And I see this handsome gentleman here, and I don't know who talked to who first, but that's when we met. We met at a Comic-Con. You were a celebrity handler, the people that, go get autographs at the Comic-Con. You're the guy who's there just as their assistant. That's where I met you, and we hit it off. And we've known each other ever since. And you're one of my post-divorce my post-divorce people that I met.
and that's what made it special. Like, I was going through a nasty custody battle, and to see how you leveled up over the years. Like, you went from volunteering to working the actual con. And I thought that was inspirational. There was one year I really did low-key had an issue with you.
Really? I'm fine.
Yeah,
Tell me.
I kind of had a little bit of hate towards you, but now it's stupid. You dressed up as Negan the day after Negan did what he did to Glenn. And I was like, I really had a huge issue about that. And you look just like him too. You did it too. The outfit was too well. And I was hurt. You know what I mean?
And you know what?
It was too soon.
It was too soon. I think the episode was that Saturday or that Sunday, and then that was that following Thursday. I dressed up,
and you was in character.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I got the bat at a friend's house, but I'm like, you know what? I like him. I like this guy, and then I got the beard and all that, so I pulled it off. And dude, that outfit got me laid.
Oh wow!
That year. I'm not lying, dude. I was like, holy shit. Women were just coming back hey, let's do this. I'm like, okay, fine. I could, damn, Negan's got some pull. So that explains why I was Negan for the next 4 years.
And I ended up liking him after I got to get his backstory after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. That backstory was a little tearjerker for me. Oh wow, he was actually a coach and all that going on. So I can relate, but yeah, I remember that year. That was a fun year for me. Oh my God. I loved it. But yeah, and that's where we met. And again, I tell everybody, you never know who you're going to meet. If I never got divorced, if I never put myself out there, I would have met you. And again, you want to surround yourself with people who, everyone has their troubles, but you want to surround yourself with people with a strong mindset, a goal driven. And again, I remember you were in comedy and you're just constantly hustling, working. I've seen your shows. I've been there. And again, I'm proud of you too, man. Again, because you've accomplished a lot. And speaking of being a comedian, what made you want to be one?
Okay, so I was in theater arts most of my life. I was in acting classes. I was the class clown when I was in elementary school. A lot of it might have had to do with me being one of the only black kids in a West Side school, trying to not then keep them from bullying me. And I had got into some legal trouble in 2009, and I was like, you know what? I don't need a background check for stand-up comedy, so let me take this real serious. And I went back to college, took marketing classes, took a lot of different performing arts classes, and did workshops, open mics after open mics, and I've been doing stand-up comedy for 16 years.
Yep. And
it didn't make sense the first 8 years. And I had went on tour with these dudes called the Hodge Twins. And did New York, and after I did New York, New York was supposed to be my last show, like, and I did New York, and I fell in love. I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I got so much love in New York that I came. That was like the pinnacle part of my career, and ever since then, it's been a snowball effect. Like, I'm taking care of my family with stand-up comedy. I'm able to create opportunities for people. I'm able to give back to the community by producing fundraisers with shows. So,
isn't it amazing how when you do what you love every minute of the day? There's not enough hours of the day. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Love it. Like,
and I think we're both blessed. I mean, like I said, I did movie reviews, and I ended up like being a coach. I was sharing some stories on TikTok. Now people are like asking for advice, and now I'm doing the coaching thing. And I started this business as about maybe 6 months ago, and it's really doing good. And the passion, when you have a passion for something and you love what you do, man, it's just like you're always wonderful to be around, and you always want to do more. And I love that we're both in that space, man. And that's awesome. But you said New York was the difference. So again, I've never been on stage. I mean, I've facilitated as an MC, but it was never my job to make people laugh. Everyone thinks it's easy and all that, but I'm sure it's fucking hard. But what was it about going to New York that said, you know what, this is where I belong? What happened?
So what happened was, I went through a nasty custody battle where I spent all my money on lawyers, and I won the case, and I was working to do comedy. You have to, like, sometimes you get a phone call like, hey, we're paying this much and it's out of town and we need you to come now. I would leave whatever job that I was doing to go do shows, and I wasn't getting paid that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was a full-time dad, single, no child support. And I was like, you know what? I'm not growing. Like, I need to get a real job and move up in that company. You know what I'm saying? Get some money towards my 401, because nothing is really shaking right now. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this tour. We're gonna go to New York, and I'm gonna quit comedy. And I was cool. I wasn't depressed about quitting. And I went to New York, and I did a bunch of shows. The main one was Caroline on Broadway.
Oh, wow.
And I got so much love out there because I didn't expect New York. New York is like the mecca for stand-up comedy.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I didn't think they was gonna even like my style of comedy. And they showed me so much love out there. I was like, okay, I definitely got something. And so, and like I said, I went up there to quit. I was like, this is gonna be my last hoorah, and I'm gonna go off into the sunset. And they showed me so much love that it made me realize that I had something special. So that's really what it was. Like, it was supposed to be my last show ever.
And it's funny, like you were going in with that last hoorah, right? This is it. Guns a-blazing. You're going to go out there and do it. And it ended up being your calling. So again, I love the fact that we're talking because I love comedy, but I'm not versed in the history or all that stuff. So you were a comedian here in San Antonio, right? Doing gigs. Is the humor different in South Texas compared to New York? And that's where you found that maybe your style of a comedy landed in that bigger market. Is that the difference?
No, like after the difference is you can make them, well, one, people are going to love you more in another city than your own city.
Why is that? I never thought about that. Why is that?
Because everybody, that's little Rudy from down the street. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, I'm pretty sure you got some uncles that, that, I'm supposed to get advice from him. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. Yeah.
So, now the difference from doing comedy, it's one thing to make people laugh in your own city, which is cool. But if I go do a show in Las Vegas, they're not going to understand a HEB reference.
Good point.
So you have to, when you do shows.
For those listening all over the world, HEB is a grocery store, the greatest grocery store in the world, and it's based in Texas. There you go. I need to give people a reference because I got listeners in Australia, everywhere. So go ahead.
Okay, so like I have to be mindful of regional references when I do shows out of town that don't have certain things that we have in the city. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, you just got to think outside the box, really, like on how I'm going to deliver outside the city. So I will say it is it might be easier to perform in the city, but these small towns like the Rio Grande Valley, shouts out to the Rio Grande Valley, like like that's where I have a huge fan base. Like they show like mad love. You know, I can't say the same thing about when I go to other cities, but when I go to the Rio Grande Valley, like I'm signing autographs. People are coming out to see me.
Yeah.
So
That's cool, man. That's cool. Like, with comedy, I hear it's difficult. Like, you said you were doing gigs. So I bet as a dad, you know, you're going through a custody battle, you're doing all this. I bet the money initially wasn't great. Like, hey, we got a gig over here. You got to drive out of town. So you got to spend your own gas money, probably your own hotel. And you're going to go make, I don't know, $100, maybe $50.
Sometimes like early on, it would be like, a couple dollars and a free food and some free alcohol. You know what I mean? Like people take care of my hotel now. The money is good. It can always be better. But yeah, early on, it was like it was about getting experience, and I want people to know that sometimes it's not about money. Like the reason why I charge so much now because they're paying me for all those times I did it for free. And so, yeah.
And it's well deserved too, as well. But again, I can imagine struggling because I guess you started doing comedy at what age? Like you said you were.
I started doing comedy at 22.
Okay. And I was going to say that's not old though, right? For comedy, that's kind of like where you want to be because that's your 20s is where you really kind of hone in your act, and by 30 you're kicking ass, right? Is that the tempo?
Yes. So even if you start at 35. Even though I've been doing longer than someone that just started, that is 35 years old, that 35-year-old has life experiences.
Yeah.
So when I was 22, I didn't have life experience. I was doing, doo-doo jokes, dick and fart jokes. You know what I mean? Like
Eddie Murphy said, right? There's doo-doo and fart jokes.
You know what I mean? Like, now I can talk about what it's like to get evicted. I can talk about what it's like to go through a breakup. I can talk about college. I can talk about just life in general. Kids getting older.
Yeah, a lot of things that people can relate to because it's real and it doesn't matter color, creed, location. Everybody knows about being a dad and waking up changing a diaper or something like that.
Yeah, right? It's authentic, and I pride myself off of. I don't cuss in my comedy. I still get edgy. I get very, very edgy. I can get dark, but I don't cuss in my comedy because there's no need to. You know what I mean? I figure I could those same cuss words I can replace with another word, and it's actually funnier.
That's interesting. Yeah, I every now and then I'll curse, but it's kind of like it's like a filler word. It's like lazy. I don't intentionally want to do it, but I never thought about it from structuring like a 10-minute set, right? Like that word can be something more powerful if I use this. I never thought of it that way, man. Holy crap. I'm just kind of,
because, and also if it gets picked up, or what if I get called to do the Tonight Show? You can't cuss on the Tonight Show. I programmed myself to just not cuss no more.
And was that like maybe a religious thing? Maybe your parents? Cause I remember growing up, I loved Sinbad and Sinbad never cursed.
Okay. So yeah.
So something like that.
I used to didn't care. I used to think comics were weird that did only clean shows. Yeah. But no, the pocketbooks is different. The money's different. I can do corporate gigs. I can do church gigs. I can do colleges. And so I didn't like how every time I would get like a corporate gig or a clean gig, and be like, okay, can I do this? Can I do that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh man, how am I going to tweak this a little bit? So I just said, you know what? I'm no longer cussing in my act. Now, like I said, I still get edgy. Like I'm still going to push the edge, but
you kind of go into the PG-13 realm.
Yeah, I would say PG-13,
but not really.
Some of it's still shocking. Don't get it twisted. Some of it's still shocking. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think like, oh, he's a clean comedian. No, I just don't cuss.
Yeah. Okay. You have any kids? You said you have one with your back.
I have two. Right? I have two kids that I know of, and
you're a road man. You're in the show business, baby.
Yeah, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Yeah. I have a 17-year-old son. I'm very, very proud of him.
That's awesome.
And he just committed to Peru State College. He got a football scholarship, full ride. Do you know how hard it was? I had spent a lot of money on personal trainers and type of football. Like we played, man, it was expensive, but it worked out because look, I'm not paying for school.
That's awesome. And that's what every dad, every parent wants. A free ride. But they earned it, but it's a free ride.
We missed meals, bro. And then my daughter, she's my world. She helps me out. She actually goes on the road with me.
That's cool.
Like when I do South Texas Comic Con, I MC that every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes on the road. She sets up my merch table. She takes pictures for me. She gets that behind the scenes footage.
That is awesome.
And then when I'm not gigging, we got quality time.
And I think every dad, I mean, guys who are listening, if you got a daughter, you know what we're talking about. When you have a daughter, there's a special love that, and not to take away from the son, there's still love, but it's different with the daughter, and the fact that she's there with you and you get to spend quality time. She gets to see you do what you love, dude. That's fucking awesome. That makes me very happy for you. From one dad to another, that makes me
quality time. You like you said, the boys, but you definitely got to be there for the girls because if you don't put your daughter on game, somebody else is going to put her on game. It's not going to be beneficial for her. It's going to be beneficial for him.
Yeah.
So we got to put our daughters on game.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. I love my baby girl. I talk to her every day, man. That's awesome. I'm very happy for you. Like I said, from dad, I love that. Because there comes a point where they get a little old and, they either go to school, find a boyfriend, so they're not really involved with you that much. Because in life happens, right? There's nothing bad about that. But the fact that you're not going to forget these days is what I'm
going to enjoy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can imagine, even with my son, I got to operate a certain way. So I can imagine what's going to happen when my daughter's 10. Mm-hmm. So I can imagine what's going to happen when she turns 15 or, and she sees how hurt I kind of get a little bit with my son. You know what I'm saying? Because he's becoming his own person right now.
Yeah.
He's going through a lot. And, I don't know what it's like. You probably have older kids than me.
My daughter's 20, she'll be 21 in a couple months, and my son's 18. Do
they go through a phase where they just don't reach out like that, only when they want money?
Not money, but when they need something.
Or a ride?
Yeah, a ride. You end up being like an Uber as they get older. That's it. And I remember this one time, I was like, what was it? A couple Christmases ago, I told my daughter, like, hey, you going to come over for Christmas? We're going to be doing this. And she's like, I can't, Dad. I'm going to be with my boyfriend over here. And I'm like, she's like, is that okay? I'm like, that's fine. And I'm like, like my baby girl, she's gotten older. What the hell? So it's like, but then they come the next day or something like that. But yeah, they're not gonna need you as much, and you've seen that. Like they don't play with you as much or hang out with you as much, and then it's just like you're an afterthought.
My son is supposed to be like, one of my best friends, my homie. Like I had him at 19, so it's kind of like he's like my little brother.
Yeah,
but I'm too cool right now, so and so I'm just afraid. My daughter sees what I go through, so she's my road dog. I can see me and my daughter partying when she gets older, like.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, that's got to be cool, man. So again, I'm taking you're a single guy. So
I'm a single guy, but I was in a relationship last year, and I started following your page a little bit more.
Yeah. I hope it helped.
I'm ready to settle down, Rudy. Like,
are you really? Are you sure you want to?
It's overrated out here in these streets out here. Like I really I got it all out my system. And what's crazy when I was young, if what I'm experiencing now, if I got that when I was younger, I would be in heaven. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yes, because I have my own house. I'm experiencing success, and I'm booked and I'm busy, and so there's opportunities that come with that, but. That's not me anymore. I don't want to be catching out. I don't want to be catching bodies. You know what I mean? Like I really want to find my person, and I really want to be with her. And what I got to battle with being an entertainer is I can honestly look at you in the eye and say I don't be doing nothing anymore. Okay,
you got that out of your system. That's the past. Yeah, right? That's done. Yeah,
yeah. And I really want to find somebody that, as an entertainer, I work with a lot of beautiful women. I got a lot of beautiful women that support me. And it's just some women are just insecure
with your reach and success, right? Is that
yes?
Yeah.
And I'm not going off of. I don't need an Instagram model. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think any man does. I mean, maybe at one point in our younger lives we want that just to say we had it, but when it comes down to like real relationships, settling,
yeah,
we're good.
Like for me, what it will do, an Instagram model would just kind of boost my ego, just so I can have her on my arm and be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You want to be the guy with the hot woman who walks in the bar. Every guy wants to be that guy.
Yeah. Okay. I see you, player. I see you, dog. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing that she could do for me.
That's it.
You know, what I'm looking for, Rudy, is I want somebody that if in the event I can't wipe my ass, can she wipe my ass? If I can't clean is she willing to pull back my skin and clean it? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I really want. Like, and an Instagram model's not going to do that for me.
Nope.
You know, I go on some cool vacations, but no one to share that experience with.
Yeah. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 37 years old.
You're 37? Dude, come on. Dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was 10 years older than you. I'm 47.
I know I'm going to turn this interview into a session.
Oh, no. Well, hey, we can if you want. You know, it'd be good advertising for me. Hey, look what I did for this handsome young man here. No, I mean, that's about the right age. I mean, I was going to ask you as far as dating, man. I mean, you were kind of hanging with celebrities, and I knew firsthand, I kind of learned by accident going out into the dating world, if you're charismatic and funny, that's all you need really most of the time to be successful with women and making them laugh, feeding them and being cool. So being with your humor on the road, I bet you had a pretty badass single life, man.
I had a great single life, and without saying any names, because you know we work with some celebrities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You tell me after the podcast, right? I want to know.
Yes. It was actually one of my childhood crushes on a hit show. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. And I usually kick my own ass sometimes because I think I had an opportunity. Because, you know, I did dive in that pool for a little bit with celebrities, and there was one female celebrity that I really liked. And I think I blew the opportunity when she was giving me all the signals. And I'll live with that I'll live with that for the rest of my life. But like, yeah, dude, sometimes those nights after the con on Saturdays and all that, it can get kind of wild.
And I was just being myself.
Yep.
You know.
And that's what, you know, whoever's watching this is going to be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. This is going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be, what else? Those 3 platforms, a video, please. Right. And I think a lot of young men who are struggling with dating, I get it in the comments all the time. No, you need to be 6 foot. You need to be rock hard abs and make all this money to be successful with women. And I'm like, no, I mean, that'll help. But like you just said, be yourself, be charismatic, be cool, be charming. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about how humor and charisma and presence really does a lot for you. And help me out here, right? Am I right?
Yeah. I agree. And for a while, I was like, well, maybe I should get another entertainer or, wife up one of these celebrities.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not what I want. I need somebody that's going to be my escape from all that.
Ooh, that's wise.
Like my peace.
That is wise, man. I'm going to steal that from you and put it in my clip.
Definitely. No, because like I thought about it, I was like, oh, that'd be cool. We could be like a Jay-Z or a Beyonce.
Yeah.
And what I'm learning is a lot of these celebrity relationships, a lot of those are like business. Those are actually business deals. I promise you some of them are. Not all of them, but 80% of those, I think they're actually like, hey, let's like be in a fake relationship and my fans will follow.
Both, right?
Yeah, your fans follow me. My fans follow you.
Yeah. There's sometimes I see it. I'm like, come on, really? Yeah, I think it's obvious. And they're smart and they know what's up and all that. But yeah, so you did your thing. You had fun. And what did you learn about the dating world out there? I mean, you out there, I'm sure you were successful on the road doing all that. But what did you learn from that whole experience? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who want that life. And they're like, oh, he doesn't know what he's missing. And like, I wish I did that.
Okay,
well, you away from that.
A lot of that stuff I did when I'm in my early 20s, that like wild, crazy rock star life. But that's really not, trying to be a rock star is not worth it when you're on the road. because okay, one, it looks bad. Like when I'm gonna mess around with one of the wait staff,
Yeah.
and then what if she falls in love with me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just a one night thing, and now I can't go back to that venue.
Good
You know
point.
what I mean?
Yeah. So you have your brand you have to worry about. Not worry about, but your brand's important when you're in show business, right? Because I don't want him. He's a womanizer. You got 3 of my cocktails.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, I don't. Yeah. Or I can go out of town and mess with a girl and she get pregnant. Now I got to go back to that. And it wasn't even love. It was just
a night. Yeah.
One night. Now I got to go. We might not even work out. Now I got to go visit that place. You know what I mean? That small town. It's just, it's the way I look at it. You're not going to do, I look at it as the work. I operate the road like it's the workplace, because it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The way how we keep everything HR appropriate when we clock into work. Yep. That's how I operate on the road. I don't mess with female comedians. I don't mess with the wait staff. I don't mess with fans, because, she might be a fan, but next thing you know, I mess around with her. She's going to feel like she don't have to pay to get in shows. Yeah. Or when we finally have a fallout, not only I lost a lady friend, I done lost a fan, and now that's affecting my money.
Yep. And I guess the one thing we're not talking about that is out there, because I got divorced in 2016, right? And I'm going out to the dating world for the first time since the 90s, and it's totally different. But the Me Too movement happened.
There we go.
Yep. And screenshots, things like that. And I remember being terrified, like, okay, I'm just going to be honest. And I let every woman take the first, like, if you want to do something, as long as I got your consent, let's go ahead and do it. And I made sure to keep all records of screenshots of text conversations just in case, because, you hear the horror story. So I can imagine for you, you have a fan, they're all into it. Then you kind of break it off and then they go, they
can say you did something. You know what I'm saying? So
and it's just an accusation. Nothing really happened. I mean, it has something happen, but it was just an accusation, and that's enough to destroy people nowadays, especially in the profession, being a comedian. There's a few comedians that were called out. I don't want to name them. But their careers were ruined for a while.
Actually, watching stuff like that is what also gave me that mind frame of, okay, if you don't do nothing, no one can. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if I have and that's what I'm saying. I want to get, wife somebody up, bring my wife with me. I've already brought sand to the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean about settling down, especially when you had your fun out there and you did your thing. Because I remember, when was it? 2019, maybe?
When I performed at your house?
What's that?
Oh, what were you going to say?
No, I'm kind of relating to you when you said you wanted to settle down, and there's a difference. You made the joke, like, I want somebody to kind of lift my sack and clean my ass. And all that. That's love. Because, again, let me share a story, because I was dating like a madman, 3 dates a week and just doing everything, catching up for all these old times because I got married young. And I remember my dad had a heart attack. This is like in 2018, 2019. And there we are at the emergency room. He's recovering. And I see my mom over at the bed just holding his hand, I see my sister with her husband. I see my nephew with his wife. And I'm like, this is what it's about. This is the real moments where I want somebody next to me just kind of rubbing my back. Just like, you all right, babe? I didn't have that.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's life. This is what matters, not the weekends and all that shit. And it was very superficial. It was fun, but that's all it was. It was just hookups. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm open to something serious now. And that's a year later, I found my wife. But yeah, dude, it's all the difference in the world.
Yeah, because these past couple of weeks have been really, really cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can call up somebody and be like, hey, can you come cuddle with me? But I don't want to cuddle with a random. You know what I mean? I want to cuddle with somebody I really, really love.
Yeah. It means more. There's something special about it. Yeah. I get all that, man.
And what are we teaching our daughters? You know what I mean? Like,
very good point. Very good point.
Or even if our daughters don't see us with other women, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That energy that we're putting out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one thing I do pride myself, because as many people as I dated, they met 3 people. And one of them is my wife. Now they're 7. Seriously, I was very protective of who they met. I had to at least known you 6 months, make sure you weren't crazy. And then, okay, you can meet them now. But again, that hardly anybody passed that.
And at that point, it was just, this is my friend.
Yeah.
You know,
daddy's friend. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
But I don't miss it. I don't miss the single life, man. I don't at all.
So what I like about being single is I don't have to check in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get when you're going home whenever I want. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about certain pictures on social media looking a certain way. Like, oh, who is that? Why? You know what I mean? And that's what the last relationship. She was a great woman. Her booty cheeks weren't on the ground. It was just I was paying for the mistakes of the previous guy. You know what I mean? She was
she was projecting all that shit on
you. She was creating scenarios, and I found myself walking on eggshells and and making sure something doesn't look like something, even though I was doing nothing. Does that make sense?
Oh, dude, I've been plenty of sense. I've been in those situations before. They're exhausting because like I remember I would get random messages like, why are you following this person? I'm like, am I? I'm like, I don't know. Let me check. You know?
Yeah.
Like things like that, some idiotic, nonsensical shit. And I'm here to tell you, now, I'm not just saying this because my wife's in the other room, but I mean this, like she's not jealous at all. Half my clients are females. I post whatever. I've collaborated with sex workers. And she's never gotten jealous because she knows I'm not going to do anything. She knows I love her, but
she understands this is a business.
She understands this business, and I wouldn't jeopardize anything because I love her. But there are good women out there, dude, and she's one of them. So I know you're going to find one. So I
just got to find a woman that understands that this is a business. Like we're on social media, we have to comment on people's stuff and like people's stuff because it helps their algorithm, and they're going to engage on our post.
Yes,
that's all it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There are good women out there. I'm sure you'll find one, man. But again, is it difficult for you? Because again, you do have some celebrity. You've done a lot of things. I mean, you Google your name and you'll come up all over the place. Does that really make your dating life in a way difficult? Like, or you maybe got to be more selective? Like, is it?
I do have a lot of opportunities. I do come across a lot of great women.
Yeah.
And like you said, I do take in the factor that I am like very known. Mm-hmm. And so I go for the women that don't know who I am.
That's gotta be reassuring in a weird way, right? Like, oh, she doesn't know who I am.
And I'm never dishonest with them. They be like, so what do you do? I say, I work for an insurance company and I like karaoke, which that's not a lie. Yeah. I do work for an insurance company and I like karaoke. And sometimes I will bring up the comedy, but I don't let them know how like dope it is. Mm-hmm. I make it seem like I'm doing open mic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and being very modest.
Yeah, so I do like I when it comes to dating, like it really is not that hard. But also I gotta be mindful because some people they might like me because of my network. They might see. And this I've experienced this. Like some people they're trying to get close to something that I'm connected to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she might be a rapper. You know what I mean?
She's at a demo, right?
Yeah. Or she might be a realtor and she sees that I have a great network of people that she wants to get connected with so she can get some clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I take that, but I can smell those right away.
Yeah, I was going to say that's got to be pretty obvious. I mean, I'm being honest. I've never been in that space where like, hey, someone's going to get with me, to get their bag and all that. But that's got to be an odd feeling for you, right?
Yeah, like so, like I can read it real early, and like some people, like I said, there's some good people out there. So,
well, help us out. Like for us young guys or us other guys, other cats who don't have that bag yet, right? Like, what are some of the signs that you see that are obvious to you, but we wouldn't know about?
Some signs?
Yeah. What are the signs that they're gold diggers and just using you?
I would say, as far as gold diggers,
getting to you to use you. Like, what are the signs that you call?
I mean, some of them were actually like, oh. They're about to cut off my lights. Can you cash at me? I know we just met.
Well, that's blatant. Oh God. Okay. There's no game in that. Come on.
I mean, I don't get approached by like groupies all the time.
Okay.
I mean, but there's some that I get approached by. There's this one chick. I don't want to say her name, but she has God first, and then underneath God first it has her OnlyFans link in her bio, and
All right, sure.
You see nothing but you see booty cheeks and whatnot all on her Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk to her outside of that, oh, I'm not really like that. This is just a business. And
okay. It's a persona that she's selling. It's not authentic. Okay.
And you know what? There's some of my friends be like, oh, I ain't tripping about that. That's all. You tripping, man. You know what? Y'all can have that.
Yeah, go right ahead. I don't want that.
You know what I mean? Her inbox is lit. Her inbox is lit right now.
Man, do you feel the frustration the dating world offers now to young men that we didn't have? Because again, you're an older cat like me. We didn't grow up with social media. That came later, right? But do you feel the frustration that young men have, like early 20s, that we didn't have in the dating world?
Okay, so we had to approach them at Ingram Park Mall and be like, hey, my name is Clifton. Can I get your number? And
yes.
You had to be, and if she gave you your number, you had to have good follow-up game.
Yep.
Now it's, can I get your Instagram? Your Instagram reel, your Instagram highlight is your highlight reel now.
Yep.
And then also a lot of these women and men are on dating apps.
Yep.
And so you got 10, 20 dudes getting at your girl. And then a lot of these females are doing bathroom selfies. Have you seen the bathroom selfies? And it's not just like it's even the grandmas. Even grandma is doing bathroom selfies too.
I never got a grandma selfie. No.
Yeah. There's this thoughttism is at an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's being glorified to be a thought right now.
They're making a lot of money. I read up about it. I even had somebody on my podcast, and it's heartbreaking because you know what? If I was a young guy, I'm talking like a kid, teenager, and I had a phone in my hand, I'd be a fucking mess. I would be a mess, dude. I'd be all up on those OF models. I'd be on all those sites. I couldn't control myself if I had that access at that age, dude.
I do think the dating sites are cool. I had to take myself off. Okay. I do think it's cool because some people don't have the charisma to go up to a female.
Yeah.
The reason why I took myself off because I know how I didn't want it to trigger, another lifestyle that I'm trying to run away from. You know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you mean, man. I do.
It's too easy on the dating app. So I like meeting women organically.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That's why I love you, man, because you and I were identical. Everything you just said, I've made at least 4 episodes on my podcast about that topic because young men nowadays, I'm talking early 20s, maybe late 20s, they have this belief that they can't approach women because they'll get called out for harassment. They'll be shot down. And it's not worth the pain. You know what? I'm not going to go upstairs. She's going to say I'm harassing her or something like that. No, I'm not even going to hold the door open for a woman because, women's lib and all these things. Feminists has ruined dating. Men can't go talk to women, so I'm not going to do it anymore. So guys have given up. Not all, but a lot of young men have given up with approaching women because they think it's not worth it. And that's heartbreaking because, again, just like you said, back in the 90s, I say this every fucking episode of probably on my podcast, is that you had to have game. You had to smell good, look good. You had to dress good. You had to talk to them, get their number, maybe buy them a drink, dance, and then ask them out the next week. So you needed to do all that to even get a chance to talk to her or even take her on a date. Nowadays, when I was single in 2016, I can meet women on my phone. I mean, that's it. Just upload some pictures and I can chat with them. And I thought it was lazy and easy.
It's too easy. And I can see where if you're like, for the average person, I think it's great because you can like see what they're into.
Yeah.
And match it. For me, it's too easy. And like I said, I'm scared it's going to trigger something where I'm just going to go on a spree.
Yeah. And it's easy to do that. Yeah. It's easy, man.
And then now they're calling you and you know what I mean? You're making videos about me that go on dates. Let me tell you about guys that go on dating sites
Well, 5 reasons,
and lead women on. You know,
5 reasons you shouldn't date a comedian, right?
Yeah, because I know how I am is the reason why I'm not on those things.
Yeah, it can get tempting. Do you find yourself with the thought of like, there's something else out there? You know, then you get caught on this, like, I got this and I got this, but there's maybe something else. That's what I remember.
That's what I was like, that's also, not only that's what you said, but also that's what I'm also thinking about. What about the women? If it's like that for me, how is it for a female?
10 times as worse.
You know what I mean?
I've had plenty of female friends. That's like, I'm sure you have. And you ever compare profiles when you're with a friend? Like, let me see your inbox. And this just,
oh yeah, I'm the king of homegirls. I got real, and I'm a real homeboy. I got homegirls that I'm really platonic with that are beautiful.
Same here.
That I've never messed with, and I've seen their inbox, and I'm talking about good looking men, rich men, celebrities. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Men talking about, hey, what's your cash app? You know what I mean? Like, so I got to compete with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if I mess up, and that's why that goes back to the whole Instagram model. Like, so yeah, I can get an Instagram model, but the second I get frustrated with her, it's done. You know what I mean? I want to build with somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I want my girl to still be attractive, but I don't need like the BBL. I don't need the baddie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need an ugly woman either. Mm-hmm. But I really want to find a woman that it's like hanging out with you, but I can have sex with her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like my homie. She's like my homie that I have sex with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. And in a weird way, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's what I'm at 37. That's what I'm into. I want a homie that I can have sex with. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to clip that and put all over TikTok, man.
Everybody looks the same. Everybody looks the same with the lights off. You know what I mean?
There you go. But yeah, I know what you mean. And I think a lot of women get confused because a guy may like that on Instagram, like hit the heart button or maybe. But that's not what we want to marry. That's just like a fantasy. Then that's like 40,000 in body, changes and BBLs. And honestly, I haven't met one guy who actually likes BBLs. I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah.
Are you? Maybe not. I mean, you know what? Let me tell you the story real quick. This one guy that I was coaching, he hated his wife's BBL. She looked great on photos, and you're looking at the social media profile, like, dude, she's hot. He goes, yeah, but when she's naked, it doesn't move like that. It doesn't look real, dude. It looks like a wet diaper. So I know a lot of guys who don't like it. Do you?
No, I don't like. I'm not a BBL fan, and honestly, like, it's just. Like I said, I can pull baddies, but really what that does is for my ego. So all my guy friends can be like, man, did you see Cliff with that bad bitch? Mm-hmm. Besides that, when you really get into their spirit, there's nothing that we can, you know what I mean? Yeah. Vibe on. So.
Yeah, you have that passionate, the sex is great, whatever, the weekend's fun, but then Monday through Friday is just like.
Yeah, I want a woman I can go to Comic-Con with. Yeah. And we dress up as Power Rangers. You know what I mean?
Power what? What's that? My little brother watched that. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, no, that's really like at this age. That's really what I'm looking for, and it's just, and also like what kind of woman am I bringing around my daughter? Because whatever she's gonna be like, okay, that's what daddy likes. You know what I mean? I used to like toxic women, Rudy. I used to like women with a good open CPS case. You know what I mean?
I know why I did, but why did you? I went to therapy and I figured this out, but why did you?
The reason why I always felt like I could fix people. Oh. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I realized that we cannot fix people. People got to want to change for themselves.
Amen.
Like, I used to treat women like how I pick my houses, like just used and broken down. I used to like a good fixer upper, you know what I mean? Like flip this house, upgrade them, but I was never successful. I thought maybe I can get them around the sisters at the church, get them into some therapy, get their nails done. And no, people, got to change for themselves. So.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way myself. It's like you can lead a horse to water, right? But you can't make him drink it. I think I just cut up the phrase, but that's exactly what it is, man. You can't fix it. That's so crazy. So that's actually kind of different because for me, I just learned that toxic love. I learned it from my parents. Every relationship I had has been toxic. Every relationship I've seen has been toxic. So I thought that was the way love worked.
No, yeah, I read a book on that. That's why, like a lot of people is from childhood. But you know, my mom, she raised me to be a gentleman and respect women. And then my dad has been with my stepmom for over 30 years.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, my mom was a single mom, but as far as like raising me to be a gentleman, what happened with me was my son's mom broke my heart at an early age, and I became a dog after that.
Why is that? You know we become villains. Why is that?
Because I realized now women really like nice guys, but like growing up in the 90s and 2000s, it seemed like women, they wanted the bad boy. They wanted the dog, like, you know what I mean? Like, so why I don't.
Some would argue they still do. I get those in the comments all the time. Man, women don't want the good guy. They want the chads. They want the drug dealers. They want the bad boys. So that's still relevant. And
I guess my daughter really changed me on.
A daughter will do that. Yeah, a daughter will change a man in ways you never knew.
Like I said, even though she doesn't see everything that I do, I was like, you know what? Would I want someone to do that to my daughter? You know what I mean?
And I love that, man. God, you're hitting me right here, man, because again, only girl dads who have that princess in their life. I swear to you, to all the young men who are listening, not married, not even kids, once you have a daughter, it changes you, man. And you don't expect it. I remember after my daughter was born, I went to Whataburger to get some food and a country song came on that I never paid attention to. And I started crying in the damn drive-thru at Whataburger. Because of the lyrics, man. I'm like, what happened to me? I never cried at country songs. What the hell's going on?
They bring our emotions out, our compassion side out. That's what I feel like it should be mandatory that people have daughters. You know what I mean? It would make the world a better place.
I think it would. You know what? Amen. I actually agree with that, man. I actually do. It totally changed me.
Because even when I go out on a date, I make sure I open the door for the woman. Like I date somebody how I want someone to date my daughter.
That's awesome.
You know,
you're a good man, right? You're a good man. And for those who don't know, like I said, I've known this guy forever. We had this interview scheduled a year ago. I think a year and a half ago, maybe something happened. The technical difficulties happened. A year later, we finally do it. This was last week. And we have more technical difficulties. So this is our third go around. So I'm glad we actually got this done, man. Because again, it's a joy talking, man.
Thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. But before we end it, I know we have less than an hour, but is there anything you want to touch on? I can edit this out, but is there anything you want to touch on that I haven't spoken to yet? This is your hour, man. Anything you want to promote that I can bring
Okay,
up?
so I'm headlining the Empire Theater June 14th, about 800 seats. And so if y'all can support that, that's a huge moment. We're going to record a special. It's going to be called The Dad Bod of Comedy. You know what I mean? So.
Wait, I don't know where the locations are. Is that in San Antonio? Where's that exactly?
It's in San Antonio, Texas, downtown. Pretty much the Majestic Theater. It's the Empire Theater.
Oh, okay.
Which is part of the Majestic Theater.
Okay.
Off of I think it's College Street or Houston Street.
I want to go see that. I haven't seen your show in a couple years. I got the Google Memories. It came up the other day. I was hugging you. You're signing autographs, something like that. On a winter, it was a winter show. That's all I know. But I need to see you again live. I'd love to see you there.
Okay, yeah, that was at Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club, and then I'm booked I'm booked here and there all year. People book me randomly, but the big show for this year is June 14th at the Empire Theater.
That's awesome.
What else I got going on? Just being a college graduate dad. You know what I mean? Like my son's about to go to college. You know what I mean? So.
That's awesome.
Trying to think, what else can we go over?
I want to ask you this one last question, and you can take as long as you want. But tell me a funny story behind the scenes with comedians. Like, what's a funny story that something happened on the road that you always think about that makes you laugh?
I don't know if I can make this funny, but this is a true story. This was like, I want to say 14 years ago, and maybe 14, 15 years ago, and I got booked at this place called Eastern New Mexico University.
Okay.
They paid a large amount of money. It was in a small town called Portales, New Mexico.
Yeah.
And back then, Google wasn't what it really was. You know what I mean? And so I told them I had all these credits. Told them I was going to be in last Friday. And what else?
Wait, were you? No, you weren't, right?
No, I wasn't. But you could do that back then. You could do stuff like that.
Yeah,
and social media wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
Social media wasn't. Social media was out, but it wasn't like what it is today. Yeah. And so I put that I was going to be at last Friday. What else did I did? I put that I was on HBO.
Yeah.
And
the Def Jam or something like that. I don't know.
And so I did the college gig. It was successful. And then I also booked another gig later after the college gig at a club. And that place was packed too. Like it's a small town in New Mexico. So the whole city came out to see me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They're thinking that I'm like this big dude. And the comedians that were opening up for me was this one guy named Brian Thompson and D. Williams.
Okay.
And D. Williams was my feature. He's an older black man. And after the shows were done, they went back to the hotel. I'm about to enjoy the night because I'm the king tonight. Everybody's like loving me out here. And I'm young in comedy at this point. And I'm like, wow. Like, I'm like the Kevin Hart right now of this city right now.
Yeah.
And there was a girl that I was peeping the whole entire night. And when the club closed, everybody was trying to figure out what to do. And this one dude was like, hey, homeboy, I'm a rapper. And I was like, yeah, you should listen to some of my music.
Uh-huh.
And you want to come back? You want to come back to my my pad? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, no, I'm good. And then the girl that I was eyeballing all night just coincidentally happened to be his sister.
Oh.
And so she was like, yeah, are you going to come back? I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll come back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got nothing to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, like we created a whole tour, and so I get in the car and we go to this small town that's next to Portales, New Mexico called Clovis, New Mexico.
Clovis, okay.
It was like 20 minutes away. And so we at the house kicking it, me, old girl. I'm like kind of like caked up with her and her homegirl, making them laugh.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, the brother is trying to have me listen to his like rap music. It was horrible.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then his friends came in and they started doing cocaine and they were like, you want to do some cocaine?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to kick it with the girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And next thing I know, these dudes started tweaking.
Oh, shit.
And they started like, hey, they started whispering and I saw them going in and out with guns. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I went to the restroom and I put like $300 in my butt. I put $500 in both. I put like $200 in one foot, $300 in another foot.
Okay.
I was like, and then I purposely left like $40 in my regular pockets.
Yeah.
I was like, these dudes are about to jump me.
Yeah.
And I go back in. I'm sitting with the girls, and the brother comes in because there's these guys that weren't at the show that are like, we don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
One, I just told everybody that I was this big time celebrity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this dude was like, hey, are you who you say you are, man? I was like, look, this is me on the flyer. You know, you saw me at the club, bro.
Yeah.
And so I called D. Williams. I was like, D, I don't know where I'm at. GPS wasn't what it was. Yeah. I was like, D, I don't know where I'm at. All I know is if you leave coming from where we were, we made a left for like 5 minutes and then we made a right for 10 minutes. And somehow,
man. Okay.
Yeah. And this dude has a gun to my face. And somehow D. Williams eventually found me. With no GPS. He found me, and as D. Williams was getting close to the car, I was like, shoot the gun, dog. D. Williams was like, get your ass in the car, and I got in the car. And so that's a true story.
Wow, dude. Yeah, that's a hell of a story to end the
And so that,
podcast.
and actually, I guess that goes back to that's the reason why. Another reason why I don't talk to like girls on the road.
Yeah, you never know.
You can get robbed.
Well, again, Mr. Simmons, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I know this is.
Thank you for letting me be on your platform.
No, I love it, man. We got to do this again. Thank you so much, man. And again, God bless. And go check him out.
God bless.
Go check him out. I'll have all of Cliff's shows, everything in the show description. Go follow him. Support this man. He's funny. He's hilarious. Thank you, sir.
Oh, chicka, yeah.